Hello students, welcome back. This is Asma Babwani. Today I will explain you English of Standard 8, Unit 4, Bipin Chaudhary's Lapse of Memory. Students, in this story there is a character Bipin Chaudhary. He remembers almost everything, but he could not recall an incident whether he went to that place or not, and whether he lost his memory or is he being a victim of a prank. So this story carries all the suspense throughout. And the meaning of lapse of memory is that temporary failure of the memory, which is known as lapse of memory. Before starting the chapter, let's know some details about the author Satyajit Ray. Satyajit Ray was born on 2nd May 1921 and he left the world on 23rd April 1992. He was an Indian film director, scriptwriter, documentary filmmaker, author, lyricist, magazine editor, illustrator, calligrapher, and music composer. Bipin Chaudhary's lapse of memory is a humorous story about a man, Bipin Chaudhary. He thinks that he has a lapse of memory. Students, we know many people who forget many things, but there are many people who remember everything, even more about others and even themselves. And many times, students forget in the examinations the answers which they have already learned, but at the time of examination, while writing, they forget the answers. And even there are some people who remember exactly what was said by whom at what particular time everything was said. So there are two kind of people who remembers everything, and the other ones who cannot remember anything, like dates or your childhood friends or childhood memories, whatever. Do you have a good memory? Has your memory ever played any tricks on you? Forgetfulness often puts you in a tight spot, but forgetting a part of your life completely may drive you crazy. In this story, Bipin Babu goes nearly crazy because he cannot recollect his stay at Ranchi. He has never been to Ranchi, he insists, though there are many witnesses to the contrary. What is the suspense all about? Students, many times we forget many things, and this puts us in a tight spot. Tight spot means a kind of a embarrassment of forgetting. Okay, how could I forget this thing like that? So in this story, there's a character Bipin Babu. He nearly goes crazy for he cannot recall his stay at Ranchi. He totally forgets about a trip to Ranchi, and although there are many witnesses who says that he has been to Ranchi, but let us read what the suspense is all about. This chapter is divided in different parts. Let's start with the first part. Every Monday on his way back from work, Bipin Chaudhary would drop in at Kali Charan's new market to buy books. Crime stories, ghost stories and thrillers. He had to buy at least 5 at a time to last him through the week. He lived alone. He was not a good mixer, had few friends and didn't like spending time in idle chat. Students, Bipin Chaudhary's lapse of memory is an amusing story. There is a character whose name is Bipin Chaudhary. He is an aged man. He had a habit to visit a bookshop every Monday and buy books of his own interest. He brought at least 5 books to keep him occupied at home for a week. He lived alone and he did not have many friends, and he didn't like unnecessary routine. He's not a good mixer means he was an introvert person, and he didn't like to spending time in idle chat means unnecessary routine conversation. Okay, so he was a very introvert person. Today at Kali Charan's, Bipin Babu had the feeling that someone was observing him from close quarters. He turned round and found himself looking at a round-faced, meek-looking man who now broke into a smile. So, while he was buying the books at Kali Charan's shop, he felt that someone was looking at him continuously from a close distance. As he turned around to find who he was a round faced, meek looking man staring at him. Meek means quiet, humble looking man staring at him. I don't suppose you recognize me. Have we met before? Asked Bipin Babu. The man looked greatly surprised. We met every day for a whole week. I arranged for a car to take you to the Hudru Falls. Students, the man was surprised to know that Bipin didn't recognize him. And the man said that we met every day for a whole week when I arranged a car to take you to the Hudru Falls. In 1958 in Ranchi, my name is Parimal Ghosh. Ranchi? Students, the man told Bipin that they met each day for a week in Ranchi in 1958, and he also claimed himself to be Parimal Ghosh and even mentioned that he arranged a car for Bipin Babu to go to Hudru Falls. And Bipin surprisingly said Ranchi. Now Bipin Babu realized that it was not he, but this man was making a mistake. Bipin Babu had never been to Ranchi. He had been at the point of going several times but never made it. He smiled and said, "Do you know who I am?" The man raised his eyebrows, bit his tongue and said, "Do I know you? Who doesn't know Bipin Chaudhary?" Bipin Babu now turned towards the bookshelves and said, "Still you are making a mistake. One often does. I've never been to Ranchi." The man now laughed aloud. Students, now Bipin was convinced that the man was confusing him for someone else. Okay? And he says to that man that you are making a mistake. He turned to the bookshelf and started looking for the books, and he even he was talking to the man that he was making a mistake and he has never been to Ranchi. So after hearing this, the man started laughing loudly. "What are you saying, Mr. Chaudhary? You had a fall in Hudru and cut your right knee. I brought you iodine. I had fixed up a car for you to go to Netrath the next day, but you couldn't because of the pain in the knee. Can't you recall anything? Someone else you know was also in Ranchi at that time. Mr. Dinesh Mukherjee. You stayed in a bungalow. You said you didn't like hotel food and would prefer to have your meals cooked by a bawarchi." Students, when Parimal reveals personal details about Bipin, he gets confused. Parimal told him how Bipin had a fall in Hudru and had cut his right knee, and the man had helped him with iodine. He even mentioned that he arranged a car for Bipin Babu to go to Netrath the next day, but unfortunately he could not go because of the knee pain. He further told Bipin that he had come with Mr. Dinesh Mukherjee, who stayed with his sister, and also Bipin stayed in a bungalow because he preferred having his meals prepared by a cook instead of having hotel food. Mr. Mukherjee stayed with his sister. You had a big argument about the moon landing, remember? I'll tell you more. You always carried a bag with your books in it on your sightseeing trips. Am I right or not? Bipin Babu spoke quietly, his eyes still on the books. Which month in 58 are you talking about? The man said October. No, sir, said Bipin Babu. I spent puja in 58 with a friend in Kanpur. You are making a mistake. Good day. But the man didn't go, nor did he stop talking. Very strange. One evening I had tea with you in a veranda of your bungalow. You spoke about your family. You said that you had no children and that you had lost your wife 10 years ago. Your only brother had died insane, which is why you didn't want to visit the mental hospital in Ranchi. When Bipin Babu had paid for the books and was leaving the shop, the man was still looking at him in utter disbelief. Students, further Parimal mentions the argument about the Bipin Chaudhary which he had about the moon landing. And he further also explains that how Bipin always carried a bag of books whenever he went sightseeing. Then Bipin Babu inquires the man about the particular month of 58 he was talking about. The man mentioned that he was talking about the month of the October. To this, Bipin immediately claimed that he spent his October in 58 that year attending a puja with a friend in Kanpur. The man also mentioned that both of them had tea with Bipin Babu in the veranda of his bungalow in Ranchi, where he told him about his family. Bipin told him that Bipin had no children and lost his wife 10 years ago, and his only brother died in a mental hospital in Ranchi, which is why he did not want to visit the mental hospital in Ranchi. After this conversation, Bipin Babu, he paid for the books which he bought and he left the shop, but still the man was looking at him with utter disbelief. Utter disbelief means complete surprise. Part 2. Bipin Babu's car was safely parked in Betram Street by the Lighthouse Cinema. He told the driver as he got into the car, "Just drive by the Ganga, will you, Sitaram?" Driving up the Strand Road, Bipin Babu regretted having paid so much attention to the intruder. He had never been to Ranchi, no question about it. It was unconvincible that he should forget such an incident which took place only 6 or 7 years ago. He had an excellent memory, unless Bipin Babu's head reeled. Students, now Bipin Babu he went towards his car and told his driver Sitaram to drive by the Ganga while the driver drove up the Strand road. Bipin felt that he was sure about that it was impossible for him to forget about such an important time of his life, and that too not from very long ago, just 6 to 7 years ago. And he was thinking, was Bipin Babu losing his mind? But it was impossible to believe because he worked at a big firm. Students, Bipin Babu started regretting. He started regretting that why I paid so much attention to the man. And it was inconceivable that he was not even convinced that he even went to Ranchi or just 6 to 7 years ago. And unless he forget the incident, unless his head reeled means he was shocked or confused like that. Was he losing his mind? But how could that be? He was working daily in his office. It was a big firm and he was doing a respectable job. He wasn't aware of anything ever going seriously wrong. Only today he spoke for half an hour at an important meeting, and yet the man knew a great deal about him. How? He even seemed to know some intimate details, the bag of books, wife's death, brother's insanity. The only mistake was about his having gone to Ranchi. Not a mistake, a deliberate lie. In 58, during the pujas, he was in Kanpur at his friend Haridas Bakchi's place. All Bipin Babu had to do was write to. No, there was no way of writing to Haridas. Bipin Babu suddenly remembered that Haridas had left with his wife for Japan some weeks ago and he didn't have his address. Students, now Bipin Babu felt that he was sure about that it was impossible for him to forget about such an important time of his life, and that too not very far, just 6 to 7 years ago. And he started thinking that am I losing my mind? But it was impossible to believe because he worked in a big firm and he had a responsible job, and he even worked regularly. But on the other hand, it was also true that the man knew quite a lot about Bipin Chaudhary, and that to some intimate details. Intimate means very personal and private details, just like his habit of carrying books everywhere, about his wife's death, about his brother's insanity, and so on. So, on the other hand, he was thinking that the man was true, but he was knowing quite a lot about Bipin Babu. Bipin was sure that he was in Kanpur in the pujas in 1958 and he stayed at his friend Haridas Bakshit's place. Bipin could write letter to Haridas to clear the matter, but he couldn't write as Haridas had moved to Japan a few weeks ago with his wife, and Bipin Babu did not have his new address. But where was the need for proof? He himself was fully aware that he hadn't been to Ranchi, and that was that. The river breeze was bracing, and yet a slight discomfort lingered in Bipin Babu's mind. Around Hastings, Bipin Babu decided to roll up his trousers and take a look at his right knee. There was the mark of an old inch-long cut. It was impossible to tell when the injury had occurred. Students, Bipin Babu was sure that he had never been to Ranchi, and there was no doubt about it. He decided to roll up his trouser and see his right knee, and he noticed a mark of an old inch-long cut, but it was nearly impossible for him to recall the date of the injury. Had he never had a fall as a boy and cut his knee? He tried to recall such an incident but couldn't. Then Bipin Babu suddenly thought of Dinesh Mukherjee. The man had said that Dinesh was in Ranchi at the same time. The best thing surely would be to ask him. He lived quite near, in Beninandan Street. What about going right now? But then, if he had really never been to Ranchi, what would Dinesh think if Bipin Babu asked for a confirmation? He would probably conclude Bipin Babu was going nuts. No, it would be ridiculous to ask him. And he knew how ruthless Dinesh's sarcasm could be. Students, now Bipin Babu recalled that the man also mentioned that Dinesh was in Ranchi with him too. So Bipin Babu decided to ask Dinesh, who lived in Beninandan Street, which was nearby. But then he thought of what Dinesh would think if he asked him about the trip and he had never really been to Ranchi, made him stop. He thought Dinesh would conclude that Bipin had gone mad, so he did not ask him because it was a ridiculous idea. Sipping a cold drink in his air conditioned living room, Bipin Babu felt at ease again. Such a nuisance. Just because they have nothing else to do, they go about getting into other people's hair. Students, Bipin Babu was sipping a cold drink in his air conditioned living room, and at that time he felt very ease. He felt very relaxed, and he was thinking what a nuisance the man was. And he was thinking that just because they don't have anything else to do, they are getting into other people's hair. Getting into other people's hair means the people who are interfering in everybody's life or anybody's life, and this kind of people are very annoying kind of people. After dinner, snuggling in bed with one of the new thrillers, Bipin Babu forgot all about the man in New Market. Next day, in the office, Bipin Babu noticed that with every passing hour, the previous day's encounter was occupying more and more of his mind. If the man knew so much about Bipin Babu, how could he make such a mistake about the Ranchi trip? Just before lunch, Bipin Babu decided to ring up Dinesh Mukherjee. It was better to settle the question over the phone. At least the embarrassment on his face wouldn't show. 2356116. Bipin Babu dialed the number. Hello? Is that Dinesh? This is Bipin here. Well, what's the news? I just wanted to find out if you recalled an incident which took place in 58. Students, Bipin finally felt relaxed after dinner and he forgot all about the strange man in the New Market. But the next day in the office, he realized that the previous day's incident was taking more of his attention as each hour was passing. Just before lunch, Bipin decided to confirm with Dinesh Mukherjee about the Ranchi trip. He thought that it would be great to call and inquire about the matter, as this would save him from facing the embarrassment before Dinesh. He called him to confirm whether he was in Calcutta that particular year. Dinesh checked his diary and told him that he had been out twice in 58. 58? What incident? Were you in Calcutta right through that year? That's the first thing I've got to know. Wait, just a minute. 58. Just let me check in my diary. For a minute there was a silence. Bipin Babu could feel that his heartbeat had gone up. He was sweating a little. Hello? Yes, I've got it. I'd been out twice. Where? Once in February nearby to Krishna Nagar to a nephew's wedding, and then... But you'd know about this one, the trip to Ranchi. You were there too. That's all. But what's all this sleuthing about? No, I just wanted to... Anyways, thanks. Bipin Babu slammed the receiver down and gripped his head with his hands. He felt his head swimming. A chill seemed to spread over his body. There were sandwiches in his tiffin box, but he didn't eat them. He had lost his appetite. Students, when Bipin Babu called Dinesh Mukherjee to confirm whether he was in Calcutta in that particular year, that is 1958, so Dinesh checked his diary and told him that he had been out twice in the year 1958. Once he went out to attend his nephew's wedding in Krishna Nagar in the month of February, and the second trip was with Bipin Babu to Ranchi. Bipin felt as if his head was swimming. He kept the receiver down and he even experienced chills all over his body. On hearing this, Bipin Babu lost his appetite. He had sandwiches in his tiffin, but he did not eat them. After lunchtime, Bipin Babu realized that he couldn't possibly carry on sitting at his desk and working. This had never happened in 25 years. He had been with the firm. He had a reputation of being a tireless, conscientious worker, but today his head was in a whirl. Students, after lunch break, Bipin could not continue sitting on his desk. He did not wanted to work anymore, and he was looking like that nothing had happened, but still he was in some confusion. He was unable to think clearly that day. Back to home at 2:30, Bipin Babu lay down in bed and tried to gather his wits together. He knew that it was possible to lose one's memory through an injury in the head, but he didn't know of a single instance of someone remembering everything except one particular incident, and a fairly recent and significant one at that. He had always wanted to go to Ranchi. To have gone there, done things, and not to remember was something utterly impossible. Students, at home, Bipin became calm to be able to think clearly. He knew that a person could lose one's memory because of an injury in the head, but he had never heard a case where one does not remember just one particular incident. At 7:30, Bipin Babu's servant came and announced, Chuni Babu, sir, says it's very important. Bipin Babu knew what Chuni had come for. Chunilal had been at school with him. He'd been having a rough time lately and had been coming to see him about a job. Bipin Babu knew it was not possible to do anything for him and in fact told him so. But Chuni kept turning up like a bad penny. Bipin Babu sent word that not only was it not possible for him to see Chuni now, but not in several weeks. But as soon as the servant stepped out of the room, it struck Bipin Babu that Chuni might remember something about the 58 trip. There was no harm in asking him. Students, in evening, Bipin's servant came to tell him that Chuni Babu had come to see him, and he says that it's regarding something very important. Chunilal was Bipin's schoolmate, and he was going through a rough time, so he had come to ask for help related to a job from Bipin Babu. And Bipin Babu had already told him that it was difficult for him to help Chunilal with a job, but Chunilal kept coming like a bad penny. Students, bad penny means appearing at a place where one is not welcome. So students, Bipin told his servant to tell Chunilal that it would not be possible to meet him now or for several weeks. But Bipin thought suddenly that he should ask Chuni about the Ranchi trip of 58. Bipin asked Chuni in case he knew if Bipin went in Ranchi in 58. There is no harm in asking so. Bipin Babu hurried down the stairs and into the living room. Chuni was about to leave, but seeing Bipin Babu appear, he turned round hopefully. Bipin Babu didn't beat about the bush. Listen, Chuni, I want to ask you something. You have a good memory, and you've been seeing me off and on for a long time. Just throw your mind back and tell me, did I go to Ranchi in 58? Chuni said, 58? It must have been 58, or it was 59. Students, Bipin Babu went down the stairs in the living room quickly, and Chuni was about to leave actually, but when he saw that Bipin Babu is coming, he turned round and he waited for Bipin Babu hopefully to help him. But Bipin Babu, he directly came to the point, he directly came straight to the point and asked Chuni that do you remember the trip of Ranchi in 58? Did I go to Ranchi in 58? So Chuni answered that it must be 58 or 59, but you have gone to Ranchi. And he was shocked to hear that from Bipin Babu. You're sure that I did go to Ranchi? Chuni's look of amazement was not unmixed with worry. Do you mean you have doubts about having gone at all? Did I go? Do you remember clearly? Chuni sat down on the sofa, fixed Bipin Babu with a long, hard stare and said, Bipin, have you taken drugs or something? As far as I know, you had a clean record where such things were concerned. I know that old friendships don't mean much to you, but at least you have a good memory. You can't really mean that you've forgotten about the Ranchi trip. Bipin Babu had to turn away from Chuni's incredulous stare. Do you remember what my last job was? Asked Chunilal. Of course, you worked in a travel agency. Students, when Bipin Babu asked Chunilal that whether he is sure that Bipin Babu has gone to Ranchi, Chuni's look was in amazement and he was completely sure that Bipin Babu had gone to Ranchi. He had no doubt about it. And after that, Chunilal, he sat on the sofa and he started staring at Bipin Babu. And he asked Bipin that, have you taken some drugs or something? I wonder how you don't remember the trip to Ranchi. And Chunilal even continued saying that he knows that old friendships don't matter for Bipin Babu, but at least Bipin Babu had a good memory, so he should remember the Ranchi's trip. But anyhow, Bipin Babu had to turn away Chunilal's stare from him. So after that, Chunilal asked Bipin Babu that, Bipin Babu, do you remember what was my last job? And in reply, Bipin Babu said, of course, you worked in a travel agency. You remember that, and you don't remember that it was I who fixed up your railway booking for Ranchi? I went to the station to see you off. One of the fans in your compartment was not working. I got an electrician to fix it. Have you forgotten everything? Whatever is the matter with you, you don't look too well, you know. Bipin Babu sighed and shook his head. I've been working too hard, he said at last. That must be the reason. Must see about consulting a specialist. Doubtless it was Bipin's condition which made Chunilal leave without mentioning anything about a job. Paresh Chanda was a young physician with a pair of bright eyes and a sharp nose. He became thoughtful when he heard about Bipin Babu's symptoms. Look, Dr. Chanda, said Bipin Babu desperately, you must cure me of this horrible illness. I can't tell you how it's affecting my work. Students, Bipin Babu remembered that Chunilal was working in travel agency before. Then Chunilal told him that he only booked the railway tickets to Ranchi for Bipin Babu. Chunilal also said that he also went to the station to see Bipin Babu off and told him that the fan in Bipin's compartment did not work properly and how he got an electrician to fix it. At last, Bipin accepted that he had been working too hard and that must be the reason of the memory lapse. He decided to see a specialist. So Chunilal left without talking about his job. Bipin visited Paresh Chanda, who was a young physician and had bright eyes and sharp nose. Bipin explained his condition and how desperately he wanted to get rid of this horrible illness and how it was affecting his work. Dr. Chanda shook his head. You know what, Mr. Chaudhary, he said, I've never had to deal with a case such as yours. Frankly, this is quite outside my field of experience, but I have one suggestion. I don't know if it'll work, but it's worth a try. It can do no harm. Bipin Babu leaned forward anxiously. As far as I can make out, said Dr. Chanda, and I think you are of the same opinion, you must have been to Ranchi. But due to some unknown reason, the entire episode has slipped out of your mind. What I suggest is that you go to Ranchi once again. The sight of the place may remind you of your trip. This is not impossible. More than that, I cannot do at that moment. I am prescribing a nerve tonic and a tranquilizer. Sleep is essential or the symptoms will get more pronounced. Bipin Babu felt somewhat better the next morning. After breakfast, he rang up his office, gave some instructions and then procured a first-class ticket for Ranchi for the same evening. Students, when Dr. Chanda heard all the incident about Bipin Babu, he shook his head and told him that he had never come across such a case in his career. He suggested Bipin Babu to visit Ranchi once again, which might help him to bring back his memory of the trip. He also prescribed him a nerve tonic and tranquilizer to reduce stress and anxiety that would help him sleep better, because inadequate sleep would only worsen the symptoms. Next morning, Bipin Babu felt a little better. After having his breakfast, he called his office to give some instructions and then he arranged a first-class ticket to Ranchi for the same evening. Getting off the train at Ranchi next morning, he realized at once that he had never been there before. He came out of the station, took a taxi and drove around the town for a while. He realized that the streets, the buildings, the hotels, the bazaars, the Morabadi Hill, with none of these had he the slightest acquaintance. Would a trip to the Hudru Falls help? He didn't believe so, but at the same time, he didn't wish to leave with the feeling that he hadn't tried enough. So he arranged for a car and left for Hudru in the afternoon. Students, Bipin reached Ranchi the next morning and as he was getting off the train, he was sure that he had never visited Ranchi before. He had never seen those buildings, those markets, hotels or Morabadi Hill ever before. He then thought whether the trip to Hudru Falls would make any difference. So he arranged for a taxi to Hudru Falls and he left in the afternoon. At 5 o'clock the same afternoon in Hudru, two Gujarati gentlemen from a group of picnickers discovered Bipin Babu lying unconscious beside a boulder. When he came round, the first thing Bipin Babu said was, "I'm finished. There is no hope left." Students, at around 5 o'clock, two Gujarati men they found Bipin Babu lying unconscious beside a boulder. When he regained his consciousness, his first words was, "I am finished. There is no hope left." Next morning, Bipin Babu was back in Calcutta. He realized that there was truly no hope for him. Soon he would lose everything: his will to work, his confidence, his ability, his balance of mind. Was he going to end up in the asylum yet? Bipin Babu couldn't think of any more. Back home, he rang up Dr. Chanda and asked him to come over. Then, after a shower, he got into bed with an ice bag clamped on his head. Just then, the servant brought him a letter which someone had left in the letter box. The greenish envelope with his name in red ink on it. Above the name, it said "Urgent and Confidential." In spite of his condition, Bipin Babu had a feeling that he ought to go through the letter. He tore open the envelope and took out the letter. This is what he read. Students, when Bipin Babu came back to Calcutta next morning, he was now at home and he contacted Dr. Chanda and requested him to visit him at his place. He took a shower and got in the bed with an ice bag on his head. Just then his servant brought a green envelope with his name written on it in red ink. The envelope had written on it "Urgent and Confidential." Confidential means secret. And Bipin Babu, he tore open the envelope and took out the letter. And there was something written for Bipin Babu in the letter. Dear Bipin, I had no idea that affluence would bring about the kind of change in you that it has done. Was it so difficult for you to help out an old friend down on his luck? I have no money, so my resources are limited. What I have is imagination, a part of which I used in retribution of your unfeeling behavior. Well, you'll be all right again now. A novel I have written is being considered by a publisher. If he likes it enough, it'll see me through the next few months. Yours, Chunilal. When Dr. Chanda came, Bipin Babu said, "I'm fine." It all came back as soon as I got off the train at Ranchi. A unique case, said Dr. Chanda. I shall certainly write about it in a medical journal. The reason why I sent for you, said Bipin Babu, is that I have a pain in the hip from a fall I had in Ranchi. If you could prescribe a painkiller. Satyajit Ray. Students, the writer who has written the letter, he asked Bipin Babu that whether it was so difficult for Bipin Babu to help his childhood friend. The writer has also mentioned further in the letter that he had scarcity of resources as he had no money. But he had imagination which he used as a punishment for Bipin's behavior. He tells that Bipin would be fine now. After reading the letter, Bipin felt very guilty for avoiding Chunilal when he asked for help. And finally, when Dr. Chanda arrived, Bipin lied to him, stating that he had revived his memories of his trip to Ranchi. Instead, he asked the physician to give him a painkiller for a pain in his hip. The conclusion or the moral of this chapter, you can say that this chapter teaches a moral lesson to students that we should help people in time of need. As the famous saying is that as you sow, so shall you reap. Students, if you like my videos, don't forget to subscribe the channel Asma Bhavani. Click on the bell icon to get the latest updates. Like the videos, share the videos, and do comment on all the videos.